In a secret lab beneath CERN, a rogue scientist discovers that the only way to stop World War III is to ensure the death of a single, seemingly insignificant gorilla. Welcome to Stories by Hawk. That's me. Tonight's story is titled The Harambe Paradox. I hope you enjoy it. These are just silly, fun stories that I like to come up with. So let's begin. Chapter 1. The Scientist Who Played with Time. Dr. Felix von Neumann had spent years working at CERN, buried in calculations so complex they would make a quantum physicist cry. His goal was to harness the power of the Large Hadron Collider, to glimpse alternative timelines, hypothetical realities where history took different paths. But one day, after running an unauthorized experiment, he saw something that made his blood run cold. The world was destined for nuclear annihilation. According to the simulated timeline projections, World War III would erupt in the year 2025 after a series of political assassinations, economic collapses, and an escalating arms race. Billions would die. Civilization would crumble. Humanity would become a footnote in the universe. But buried deep in the tangled web of causality, Felix found a peculiar anomaly, a singular event, a fulcrum upon which the fate of the world balanced. The death of a gorilla named Harambe. Chapter 2. The butterfly effect of a 400-pound gorilla. Harambe's death on May 28, 2016, in a Cincinnati zoo was a tragedy, an internet phenomenon that launched 1,000 memes. But according to the data, his survival would set off a chain reaction so bizarre that it was almost laughable. If Harambe lived, the memes about him wouldn't dominate the internet. Without the memes, a certain 17-year-old named Viktor Mikhailov wouldn't be radicalized by absurdist humor forums. Without his radicalization, Viktor wouldn't hack into the Russian defense network in 2023. And without the hack, a misunderstanding between world powers wouldn't escalate into a global thermonuclear war. It was utterly absurd, but it was completely undeniable. The conclusion was right there, staring in front of his face. Harambe had to die. Chapter 3. The Assassin's Creed. Felix knew that interfering directly in the past would break the fundamental laws of time travel. Well, if such a thing existed. But there was another way. Through back channels, he contacted the world's most dangerous international assassin, Sebastian the Peacock Delacroix. Sebastian was a legend. He had taken out dictators with poison darts, staged accidental deaths for CEOs, and once shot a man from 2 miles away using a rifle he built out of scrap metal and a rubber band. He was the best there was. And now Felix needed him to assassinate a gorilla. Chapter 4. The Cincinnati Job. Sebastian infiltrated the Cincinnati Zoo with the precision of a ghost. Under the cover of darkness, he set up his perch in the trees, his sniper rifle trained on the gorilla enclosure. But fate is a fickle mistress. Just as he was about to take the shot, a 3-year-old boy climbed over the enclosure's barrier and fell in. Sebastian froze. This wasn't in the plan. Harambe, gentle but massive, approached the child. The world held its breath. The zookeepers panicked. Sebastian knew this was the moment history had spoken of. If he hesitated, if he failed, the nuclear war was inevitable. With the calm precision of a man who had seen too much, Sebastian pulled the trigger. 1 shot, 1 kill. Harambe collapsed. The zookeepers, in their confusion, believed they had made the call. The world mourned, and the internet exploded with memes. And somewhere deep beneath the earth at CERN, Felix watched as the future changed. World War III was erased. Now, you might think that would be the end of it. Felix celebrating in silence, knowing no one would ever understand what he had done to save humanity. The memes, the chaos, the strange reverence for Harambe, it was all necessary for keeping humanity alive. Weeks passed, and then he noticed something terrifying. The simulations were running again. The numbers were shifting, and the future was uncertain. Because deep in a hidden government lab, a group of scientists had just made a terrible mistake. They were trying to clone Harambe. To be continued. Anyways, thank you for joining me today on my latest short story. And if you want to learn more or read more, go to my website, tfhcalifornia.com. Until next time, enjoy.